Our proposed project was to host a basketball tournament, a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and raise $700 for the Boys and Girls Club of Bloomington Normal by charging admission to the event as well as a team registration fee of $25 per team. At the event, we were going to sell concessions, um, do caricatures for a small fee, and also do a silent auction and offer prizes for the winning team.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
Okay, so our original plans from the $700 amount that we wanted to raise from the 3-on-3 basketball tournament changed when we did not get anyone to sign up for the event. Thus, we didn't make any money from it. So as our alternative option, we chose to do a fundraising event through candy sales instead of leaving our results on the basketball tournament that didn't yield any income.
So our group did experience a number of difficulties, and we have a list. First difficulty was a lack of donated items for our auction. So it was very difficult to find businesses and donors to give to our cause, and we think that that was because of the season that we were asking, and being Easter and Christmas, there were a lot of other organizations asking for donations as well. Another difficulty was the lack of teams willing to sign up for our tournament. So we did come across a number of groups who were interested in the event, but we couldn't get anybody to fully commit to signing up for the event. Our promotional timing was pretty short given our project timelines, so that was difficult to overcome. Decisions on what type of event that we were going to have probably took longer than they should have. And then working with the organization was a little bit difficult, being that their primary goal for raising money was just to brute force solicit donations through businesses, and most of the members of the team did not feel like knocking on doors asking for money, so that's how we came up with a basketball tournament. We also wonder whether or not the goals were realistic given the required time to complete the project. So we may have been dealing with some time constraints that we weren't fully aware of, given the amount of activities and the level of participation we actually needed to put on something like a basketball tournament. And lastly, we did have some competing priorities with other group members, as we all had additional classes, additional life events that happened at the same time. So there was some scheduling conflicts at times during the project to get everybody 100% dedicated. So those were our difficulties.
On March 30th, on Sunday, we had a 3-on-3 basketball tournament at Horton Fieldhouse. When we arrived, nothing was set up or in place that we asked for. So after a couple minutes of getting all that figured out, and the basketball is lowered and the table set up and the scoreboards and everything ready and the concessions all set up, we were there for about 3 hours. No one seemed to show. So we hung out for the while time being and shot some hoops, and that was about it. We regrouped and decided to tackle another fundraiser event the next week. That'll be taking place next week. we'll be selling candy in Schrader Hall. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
So I'll be talking about the concepts that we covered in Reflection 1. We talked about the model of small group socialization. This consists of 5 phases: the antecedent phase, the anticipatory phase, the encounter phase, assimilation phase, and finally the exit phase. So in the antecedent phase, it talks about your thoughts and feelings that you have prior to meeting your group. I had certain thoughts like, will me and my group get along? Am I going to be the one doing all of the work? Like, will I be the outcast of my group? Just some things like that. I think it's really common for people to think that way before they go into meeting their group. And then the second phase is the anticipatory phase. And then in this phase, both your individual and your group expectations are considered. So I thought about my individual expectations for our task. So like what kind of project we were going to do, if it was going to be like a volunteer work or if we were going to make a fundraiser or something like that. And I was also focused on getting to know my group mates and that we are all going to get along. And then for the encounter phase is when groups come together face to face for the first time. When we came together, I know we did the normal icebreakers like, oh, what's your name? What grade of school are you in? How old are you? What's your major? Just certain type of get to know you things like that. And then I remember being really friendly and I smiled a lot and tried to be really engaging to try to make other people open up and get comfortable around me as soon as possible so that we didn't have to worry about the awkwardness as the rest of the meetings went on. And then the fourth one is the assimilation phase, and this talks about the rituals of the group. So our ritual, we don't really have like everybody sits in this certain seat or we bring snacks or anything like that. We just have a regular Thursday meeting here at Milner in the library that we know that we need to attend, and if we can't, we alert the rest of the group members and tell them any concerns we have before we actually get to the meeting. And then the another part of the assimilation phase is if you get a new group member in your group, but we never got another group member, so we didn't have to worry about them assimilating into our group and accepting our group norms and things like that. Finally, it's the exit phase, which is the last phase of the socialization process. And this is where the group members exit the group, and sometimes there's a final group meeting afterwards to celebrate a job well done. So maybe the group will go out to dinner and have dinner together to celebrate that their group project is over. We will be at this stage after this meeting because it's our last one and the project will be done, so we will no longer have a reason to meet. So pretty excited. Yay!
Right. Well, one of our concepts that we actually went over was brainstorming. And from our meetings and minutes, I looked over actually February 13th, the Thursday that we met, we actually used brainstorming to decide on what fundraiser we were going to do. It actually was kind of traditional with our own little twist on it, is that we would just shout out kind of like random answers. We really didn't have, we had like a 30-minute time limit. Shout out like random answers, just whatever came to our minds. And then we kind of like, as we went along, we kind of went over the pros and cons of whether this was a good idea or not. And then we decided, we actually landed on our first idea of the basketball tournament. And that kind of segued into like our second concept, which was our decision making, which was consensus and a little majority rules. And another major meeting that we actually used that in was on February 27th, 2 weeks later. We had to decide for the price of what each price per team the tournament was going to be, and then if we were going to charge guests to come see. We actually went back and forth on Facebook and in person in our meetings to see what we were going to do. We actually came to consensus after a majority rule. We actually got the other person to decide with us that we would charge $25 per team and $1 entry for guests. After that, we actually decided again to scratch the price per guest for actually to watch it.
So, am I satisfied with this project? I would say yes. I think it was a really great opportunity getting to work with an organization to help them promote, help them fundraise. I think it was really a great experience for the group overall, just to have us all come together and work on something that we could like help the Boys and Girls Club out, like what we did, help them promote and also raise money for them. And because a lot of my classes, I don't think there was many group projects that were this extensive, this in-depth. So I think it was a really great opportunity working with everyone. And also my major here at ISU is photography, and I actually got to take portraits for the employees at the Boys and Girls Club. So that was a really great opportunity because it gave me great experience to something that I'm going to be doing hopefully for the rest of my life. And if I were to do anything different about the project, I would say definitely for other groups that are taking this class, have a set in stone backup plan, because that was something that we ran into, is having our original plan kind of fall through and then not having a set in stone backup plan. So I think that would be one of the most important things.
So am I satisfied with this group project? Yes, I am satisfied. For me, yes, I was able to learn a lot of the concepts. I learned a lot about formal roles, informal roles, some of the different communication styles that I see every day in my regular job. I was able to define and kind of see those in action within this small group. Overall, from a social perspective, yeah, I was able to meet a very diverse group of individuals in this project, which I really enjoyed doing. And if I had any tips for any future projects, I would recommend that really dedicate time to making your project a success. It has to be, you have to schedule time, you have to keep on a schedule, make sure that your tasks and activities are realistic, and that people are committed to actually following through on them, because that makes a huge difference when you're when you start to pull it all together at the end. So, that's it.
I feel mostly satisfied with the relational aspect of our group. I would have to say that I do feel unsatisfied with the task portion. I don't feel like we were able to accomplish as much as any of us really wanted to, and that probably has to do with the amount of experience that we had doing fundraising or planning an event. For groups that would do this project in the future, I would recommend honestly evaluating your skill set and then trying really hard not to do more with your project than what you have the ability to do.
For satisfaction of the group, I really enjoyed working with everyone. I wish we could have made more money for the Boys and Girls Club. We probably should have had a more realistic view of what we could do with the time constraints and what we can do fundraising wise. But besides that, I enjoyed working with everyone, and although I do wish that we did have a better outcome for the monetary value for the Boys and Girls Club. For anyone else taking this class, I'd definitely say be ready to work, think out of the box, be creative on how you could be fundraising. A lot of groups thought out of the box and made a lot of money. I kind of wish we had something like that, but besides that, I'm overall happy with everything.
I would say that I am very satisfied with this group project in my small group processes class. I thought that I was put together with a really good group. Everybody did their part. They were all serious about it. There was never one moment where I was extremely frustrated with somebody in the group because they didn't do their part of the project that they were assigned, or they were being mean to other people in the group. We were all very respectful and worked together well. Something that I would recommend that other groups do is, once you decide on a fundraiser that you want to perform to help out your organization, you should jump on that and start planning right away, start getting your resources, getting people to sponsor you if you want to have prizes or food or things like that, because it is a long process and you can't wait until just a couple weeks before your supposed fundraiser is going to happen. Otherwise, it might not happen at all. Also, you need to make sure that you get the word out about your fundraiser and you advertise it well before it's actually going to be happening, because we tried to do a basketball tournament and it didn't work out because we only advertised it a couple days before the actual event, and so there was not enough word about it, and we should have also spread it to the community, not just had it be college students, because college students don't have a lot of extra money to spend. So I think that really hurt us in the end.
As for being satisfied with how our group went, I'm pretty satisfied, as in we all worked well. We got our relational goals that we wanted, so we all became friends. I'm pretty sure we'll probably stay in touch afterwards. Our task kind of fell off because the basketball tournament didn't really work out, but even though we had the candy sale to help, overall I'm still pretty satisfied that we did well.